Tradesmen that have mastered their profession are not going to be giving their secrets away easily, but I've spent the last 2 years of my life watching and learning. So now I can actually pass some of that knowledge to you. This is the full download. I'm not saving any bits for later. I'm not keeping some back. This is everything you need to know to create a beautiful garden and increase the value of your home by laying a patio. Everyone's heard the saying, you can't build a castle on quicksand, and that's exactly the same for a patio. And to do this, you've got to make sure you have a solid bed of MOT1. The MOT1 sub base has to be at least 100mm thick, so you might have to do a bit of digging. One of the easiest ways to set a 1 in 80 fall on your patio is to do it at the sub base level. Simply hammer pegs or bars into the ground at every meter and then make sure they descend by 1.2 centimeters every time. And then hire a whacker plate to whacker it down and make sure that's solid. Next up is making the mortar mix for the slabs to sit on. This part is absolutely crucial, so you're probably going to have to rent a cement mixer for the day or even the week. The mix is classed as a 4-to-1 mortar mix, which means 4 buckets of sand and 1 bucket of cement. These buckets are usually a standard size and it's called a builder's bucket. The type of sand you're going to need can be confusing because this sand has got all different names depending on where you're from. Here's a couple of names that you might know it by: concreting sand, sharp sand and grit sand. You can add a bit of plasticizer to the mix to make it a bit softer if needed. You then need to buy some slurry, which you can buy from most builders merchants, and you apply this with a brush or a roller or even a trowel. The important thing is each slab gets a nice 2 to 3 mil coating on the back. Leveling the mortar bed isn't that difficult. You just need to use a piece of timber with the thickness of your slab cut out of it. You can use that by dragging it across the slab next to it, and that gives you a bed of mortar which is the perfect height for your next slab. And make sure you keep stopping for Yorkshire tea breaks. Once the slab is in place, you can use a spirit level and a rubber mallet to adjust it. I'm not using clips to space out these slabs, I'm just using a 10mm piece of timber. And if you have any rough edges like I have here, you can always use a grinder to cut them off to give you a perfectly straight line, which, although it was nerve-wracking, it was satisfying. So take your time on this one and make sure you wear PPE. My patio is 18 square meters and I used roughly 3 bulk bags of grit sand and 24 bags of cement, which came in at around £300. To tie in this new patio with the existing walkway in the garden, I'm using these concrete cream pavers to edge the new patio. I'm simply laying them on the same mortar mix, using a piece of timber on top and then hitting it with a rubber mallet to make sure that they are all level and consistent. And the beautiful material I'm using is Bulgarian limestone. Although it's taken me a long time to get to the point where I know all of this information, I feel like it was time well spent because I've saved a load of money, I've created a beautiful space for me and my family, I've increased the value of my home, and I've learned a load of new skills along the way. The only thing left to do